What's up, people? We are back with more of Katawa Shoujo. We're in the middle of our retreat in Lilly's summer house together with both Lilly and Hanako and myself, Hisao, of course. So yeah, we were about to have lunch, I think, and I think this is actually still our... we just arrived here, and I'm guessing we left on Friday, and then today is Saturday, and then Sunday we're going. I don't know exactly, but anyway, it's probably the first or second day at least. Well, considering we slept here. Does the first day actually count if you just arrive and then immediately go to sleep? Does that already count as the first day, or is the other day like officially the first day that you're here? Because it's a full day, right? Probably going into details way too much that I shouldn't be doing, but anyway, I'm just gonna call this the first day here. First full day here, and yeah, let's enjoy it while we still can and while we have the time. And maybe, who knows, the long-awaited confession of Hisao is maybe going to happen in this video. We'll see. I lay out the plates of food, steam slowly rising from the well-cooked rice and curry dishes, while Hanako lays out the cutlery. Knife one side, fork on the other. Western. How perfectly fitting for someone like Lilly. As we take our seats, taking careful heed of the dark red tablecloth hanging below our knees, Lilly emerges from the kitchen. In her hands are 3 glasses and a bottle of wine? What? Really? Oh, she's like, oh, I had a taste for it, now I want more. I can't get enough of it. As I recall our previous run-in with that devilish elixir, I hide my face in my palm. Alcohol? Seriously? She pauses as she reaches the table, a playful grin perched on her face. Akira specifically gave permission to take a bottle from her collection. Not only does she give alcohol to minors, but even lets them pilfer their own? The perfect model of a responsible adult, Akira is not. More to the point though, is that this is hardly a meal deserving of alcohol. I'm starting to think Lilly's the type to easily become hooked on things. Oh yeah, let's get her hooked on Hisao. Let's get her hooked on us. Let's go. That's not really the problem. I don't really have any qualms with it, but didn't you have a bad experience with it last time? Last time was likely due to drinking too much, so a single glass shouldn't prove a problem. Isn't that what they say? Like a single glass of wine per day is actually kind of healthy and not, everything is good if you eat it, if it's edible, of course, but just in moderation. Okay, I'm not sure if anyone could actually hear like the vibrating of my phone in the background while I was like saying that last sentence, because my phone actually went off and it was a really strange number, so I was like looking at who the fuck is this? Like, what the heck is actually calling me? Because it's plus 88193330 blah 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 blah. Don't need to know the rest, but yeah, anyway, so that's just sort of a thing that I do whenever I don't recognize a name and it has this strong, weird starting numbers. Like for here, it's always, I know like the Dutch, code or the Dutch first 3 numbers whenever someone's calling from either home line or cell phone, So this one was really weird. So I just Googled it, and apparently it's a phone number that is connected to several fraud cases or something, where they just let they call your phone. It then goes over twice, and then they hang up, and then they're sort of baiting you to call back, and then, I don't know, something they're gonna try to convince you to do some weird shit or something. So yeah, I'm glad I looked that shit up, and obviously I wasn't planning on calling them back anyway, but I really wanted to just sort of find out what the hell this number was. And there was like this handy website, it was like who just called.nl or something. It was translated obviously, but yeah, that just basically, it's the number was shown at this particular exact number that just called me, and then a bunch of comments from people all saying the same thing, like, yeah, I just got called by this number, it went over twice, and then I didn't bother calling back considering all the bad stories that everyone told in earlier comments. So yeah, I found that particularly strange, but we're just gonna continue. Think of it as a learning experience. I can't recall many learning experiences that make me feel rotten before putting me to sleep, but I'll take your word for it. I agree with Lilly here though. Sometimes you just have to make a stupid mistake to know that it is a stupid mistake, right? Because the thing is, yes, sometimes things in your head might sound like a stupid thing to do, and more often than not, it might be a stupid thing to do, but you won't really know until you do it, right? Obviously, you have to pick your spots and when you want to do something that you think is stupid and when not. Because obviously you could think like, killing someone is probably a stupid thing, but I've never tried it, so I don't really know for sure, so I probably should try it to see if it's a stupid. Like, obviously you're not gonna do that, right? It's not to the extreme, of course, but you know what I mean. Sometimes you just have to like, is that really true? And then you do it and like, yep, they were right all along. She dips an uninjured finger inside to feel the liquid level. Tip against the bottom as the liquid rises up. The white of her finger almost seems to glow as the sunlight hits it, the delicate outline blurred and refracted by the glass. Her fingers are definitely longer than mine, the kind I think more suited to a pianist than a teacher. She'd likely have done well if she'd learned how to play. We quickly dig into our meal, forks and knives clattering against plates. None of us are particularly eager to speak while eating. Lilly altogether too reserved for such a thing. Hanako probably too shy to start a conversation, and I too busy savoring the food. Such a pedestrian activity, eating together at a table. It seems so utterly normal, yet it makes me realize how long it's been since I've done something like this. Just the three of us, sitting around a single table, eating as if we were a malformed family. Maybe this trip, as far away from everything as we are, was worth it. Of course it is. It's only just starting and it's already worth it. It takes quite a long time, but eventually we all finish our surprisingly filling meal. The wine, thankfully, has little effect given how we've only had one glass, or a glass or two each. I slump back into the seat, rubbing my stomach contentedly. Oh, I'm stuffed. Lilly pats her mouth with a napkin. Twice, only twice, and with evenly timed intervals in between. It's hard to tell sometimes whether how she acts is a well-trained routine or a well-rehearsed act. I think I must be as well. Did you like it, Hanako? It was nice. Now that we're well fed, shall we be off? Ooh, off? Where? Where are we going? Where are you planning to take me, huh?
You weren't privy to the discussion between Hanako and me earlier.
I get the impression that she's having a subtle dig at my sleeping in.
We'll be going into the town nearby.
I guess I should have expected two girls to take a holiday as an excuse to go shopping, no matter where on the planet they may be. I am interested to see more around the north though, so this can only be a good thing. Alright, sounds good. How long's the walk in then?
It's supposed to be around 1 mile to 1.5 miles.
Nearby, huh? Great. Just great. As we climb up the path surrounded by trees and undergrowth, I watch Lilly and Hanako walking ahead. The slight breeze all but whisks away the sound of Lilly's cane gently tapping on the ground. I notice that Lilly's since removed the band-aid now that her bleeding of her finger has stopped. A deep, lung-filling breath of the fresh country air makes me wish all the harder that the air around home had been quite so clean. I can't have even been half a mile, but I'm already working up a sweat. It isn't a pleasantly cool day though, so I shouldn't be too hard on myself for it. Hey Lilly, how well do you know this town anyway?
Since I spent quite a few of my vacations here up until I entered Yamaku, I say I'd know it fairly well. We used to drive there once a weekend then.
How I wish Akira was here to drive us now. We can just steal a car, right? Just go GTA on this. I quickly take a moment to rub my hands a couple of times, staving off the oddly cold feeling in them. Did you like it up here?
I'd say it was nice during winter, but as you can work out, summers get a little too hot for comfort. It's nice and quiet at least. My family's real house is quite far south. When they left Japan, my parents gave it to Akira and me. Only Akira lives there now. After my moving into Yamaku,
Well, quiet certainly describes this place, though lonely is how I'd put it. Other than the prophesied small town, there isn't another soul for miles around. Coming from a home nestled deep within the big city, it's certainly different. I think that if I'd not come to Yamaku, staying out in the country like this would be too much of a change to get used to. After getting accustomed to the school's isolation though, the idea of living in a place such as this has become almost inviting. To be somewhere away from the hustle and bustle of the metropolitan centers.
So, Hisao, have you been to Hokkaido before?
Nah, I used to live down south, and we never had any field trips or holidays up this far.
Well, it's a new experience for you then.
Yeah, it is. I'm surprised at how nice it feels here. How about you, Hanako? She shakes her head from side to side.
It's my first time too.
As we continue walking, I begin to feel pins and needles in my legs. It's a little disturbing, given there's no reason for it to be happening. Could you two hold on for a moment? I just need to...
Is anything wrong?
Nah, I've just got pins and needles and... Oh no, why? He seems to be getting like more... that's a thing that I've noticed within this route. Like, he seems to actually be having more heart problems in this route than he was in the Rin route, even though I feel like he's being more active in this route than the Rin route. Like, with Emmy, it was like, in the beginning, he only had that problems because he was pushing himself too hard. But the moment he actually like shaped up a bit and he just, running became part of his routine, after that point, I feel like he never really got, chest problems or just, those heartbeats where you just saw like the red and like, that after a certain point, it never happened anymore in the Emmy route. In the Rin route, I think it happened maybe once or twice very early on, but then later it didn't happen at all. But here it happens surprisingly often, even though I feel like he's being more active, even though it's just walking. Walking is actually good, it's a good way of exercising. It's not like hardcore compared to running track and field or like playing any sports or something, but it's still a nice form of exercise. So I find it kind of strange that considering how much more he walks in comparison to the Rin route, he's actually having more chest problems. My vocal cords suddenly become taut as my chest tightens instantaneously. I quickly pull my upper arm over it, trying to quell the shot of pain spreading throughout my entire body.
Hisao?
Lilly's face is only mildly concerned, not knowing the side which Hanako's recoiling from. I'm fine, just tired. I remove my arm from my chest and force myself to begin walking again. It's just a minor heart flutter, so it'll pass like all the others. Ugh. It only takes a couple of steps before my body finally revolts against me, my legs suddenly beginning to give way underneath me, and all tension in my knees seeming to evaporate. No! Before I can react, they usually give away under the weight, leaving me only just enough time to brace myself and fall onto all fours. Ugh! Damn!
Hisao!
As I look up to her, I realize my face is still taut with pain, only adding that much more to her worrying.
Hisao! Hanako! Tell me what's going on! Hanako! Tell me!
Hanako quickly moves to my side as Lilly almost panics, having little clue as to exactly how bad a condition I'm in. While she stands there petrified, I lower my face and take a deep breath. Oh no, this can't be the end, right? Did I make a wrong choice? I come to a realization that makes me endlessly irritated with my stupid self. With all the excitement of my new surroundings, I'd entirely neglected to take my medication last night. Or even this morning. Oh, that's why. Stupid Hisao. God dang it.
forgot to take medicine. Taking another breath, the acute pain in my chest begins to die down, and as suddenly as it had arrived. Thank God. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. Whew. As it does, I become acutely aware of the sweat by now pouring off my face and the two scared girls around me. Hisao! I'm fine, Lilly. I'm fine. I screw up my brow in an effort to lever myself up, Haruko's arm quickly moving to catch me if I fall, as I stumble a bit before regaining my balance. I look to Lilly and Hanako, worry written on both their faces. Oh, I feel awful. Utterly awful. I think we should go back. Realizing the futility of protesting, I look away in frustration. Fine. God damn it, Hisao. I know it's exciting, okay? Being out in nature together with Hanako and Lilly. 2 girls, 2 waifus. I get it, okay? But don't forget to take your medicine. Come on, Hisao. I open my eyes groggily, completely bereft of energy. For a while, I simply lie down lifelessly, staring at the ceiling as I review the events of the morning in an attempt to organize my thoughts. We went to walk to town. My heart nearly gave way. We came back. I took my pills. I slept. I can only remember each period of time as a snapshot, but the timeline is clear enough. The memory of the girls' faces as I struggled to stand is an unpleasant one, stinging my feelings harshly. If I look at the ceiling hard enough, I can imagine the tile edges and small dimples of the ceiling in the hospital. That fact alone is enough to make me sit up and try to pull myself together. Yeah, we don't want to be anywhere again near a hospital. I scratch the back of my disheveled hair, glancing around the room. Lilly and Hanako are nowhere to be seen, and the television's turned off. The clock above it says it's pretty late in the afternoon. The noticeably reddened sky outside the window confirms it further. I turn and pick myself off the futon, swaying lightly as I put my arms out for balance. I suppose I'd better go look for the girls to see if they're alright. As I look out of the window, I faintly see something in the distance. Straining my eyes, I can just about make out the shape of a person's figure. Her long blonde hair, swaying in the faint breeze, makes her almost seem to meld into the bright yellow of the wheat field. Without a second thought, I leave the room to follow that lone apparition. The brightness of the setting sun assaults my freshly woken eyes, forcing me to avert them until they adjust. The long, yellow strands of wheat brush against my legs as I wade through them, the densely grown field making it hard to advance. Regardless, my eyes stay fixed ahead, true to that solitary figure. Within minutes, I reach her. Meters behind her turned back. Lilly? She simply nods. Where's Hanako? She's in bed. She went to sleep after I calmed her down. She says it matter-of-factly and with as few words as possible, as if saying any more was strictly forbidden. There's something different about her. Her normal confident figure seems oddly fragile, her body offering no resistance to the breeze blowing her skirt. The strands of wheat sway from side to side while a deafening pause passes, the only sound being their rustling. As we stand in the field alone, I know what I have to ask. What's wrong, Lilly? You're not acting like you usually do. Remember when I talked of my family, Hisao? Your family. I looked downwards in thought, sifting through my scattered memories. The event seemed to leap ready to hand when I searched for it, rising to the surface as soon as I was recalled. After Hanako's birthday party, she gives a single, simple nod. It was nice, back then, you and I, celebrating with Hanako, simply sharing presents, talking, having fun together. It was almost as if we were a family, one small, misshapen family. I thought that could just go on forever, just the three of us, happily together. Oh my god, I wish it could. She takes a long breath, a slight shakiness to it, just barely audible through the moving air. Even if my family was so far away, as long as we were together, that was all I needed. I don't want to lose you, Hisao. I didn't even realize how afraid I was of losing someone else until today. I'm sorry, Lilly. I know my body's weak, but even then I make the most stupid of mistakes. Don't apologize. Please, don't apologize. Lilly? She turns to face me, her pale cheeks stained with tears. One misguided step after another, she stumbles towards me, her arms held out in search of so much as a faint brush against me. Oh my god. My heart doesn't race nor pound as I step towards Lilly, gently taking and steadying her in my arms as she quickly clutches to me, sobbing. With her face trembling against my shoulder, the next words from her mouth are the last I expected. I love you, Hisao. I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Don't go away. I beg of you. Never ever go away. I love you. So please. So that's why she's been acting like this. The tender voice when I called her, her thoughtless concern at the slightest pain I might feel. After having been left in Japan without her family, and with only Akira, Hanako, and me around, she was afraid of losing yet another person who was close to her. She was genuinely worried about me. It's a strange feeling, a mix of surprise and sorrow, yet also the deepest gratitude I think I've ever felt. The only reaction I can muster among my conflicting emotions is a calm sigh. You idiot. Hisao? For a fleeting moment, I feel her body become still. The only movement to be felt is the calm afternoon breeze. I said it before, didn't I? It's only natural to feel concerned about those around you. I'm still here, and I'll always be here, because I want to see you more each day, to share in your happiness, to support you in your sadness. But most of all, I'll still be here because I want to see your smile, your true smile. A single gust of wind rustles the long strands of wheat. A second's silence passes. Smile when you want to smile, cry when you want to cry. I love you, Lilly, so you don't have to hold back anymore. And with that, her arms clutch my back as tightly as she can, her face buried beside mine. Her tears fall down my back as she cries unrestrainedly as the last of her resistance melts away. Hisao! 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 I close my eyes and bring my head down to her shoulders, holding her shaking frame tightly. It's okay, Lilly. I'll never go away. I promise.